Hi, I'm Simon with AppliancePartsPros.com. Today we're going to show you how to repair your appliance. Are you ready? Remember, anytime you work on your appliance, make sure it's unplugged or the circuit breakers are off so there's no chance of electrocution. Also, make sure you turn off the water supply to the washer. In this video, we'll show you how to replace the heating element in a Samsung washer. It's going to be a very easy repair. Should only take a few minutes to show you how to do it. For this job, we're going to need a Phillips screwdriver, a flathead screwdriver, a socket wrench with a 10mm head, pair of pliers, a rubber mallet, and we have here extension that we're going to use as a punch. When you open up the package, you're going to get a new heating element. The heating element is mounted through the bottom front of the outer tub. Operated by the main part control board, the heating element heats up water inside the tub. If water inside the tub does not heat up to the requested temperature and the error codes HC or HC1 appear on the display, check the heating element and replace it if needed. To get to the part, we need to open the door. Right now I'm going to remove this spring that holds the outer boot. I'm going to peel this a little bit up and using a flathead screwdriver, I'm going to pry this clamp off. And next I'm going to take this boot off the front lip. I'm going to tack it in. Out of the way. I'm taking out 3 screws that holds the door switch assembly. And it's a Phillips screwdriver I'm using. We need to remove the top panel that's held in place with the 2 screws here. I'm using a Phillips screwdriver. Taking them out. Now I'm going to pull this top back and I'm going to lift it off. Next we're going to pull out the dispenser drawer, and we have to push this tab and we're going to remove it completely. Next we need to remove the 3 screws here that holds the dispenser housing, and we're going to slide it back. And it's a Phillips screwdriver I'm using. Next I'm going to free these 2 hoses from the dispenser housing. Now I'm going to slide this dispenser housing back. So, and put it down out of the way. Now we're going to remove this control panel. We need to pull up and forward those clips. So, start with a corner. And I'm going to work this out. Yeah. Now I'm going to take this couple of plugs apart, press the locking tab and pull it apart. Number 1 and number 2. I'm going to take it out. Next we're going to open this drain filter door. I'm going to use the flathead screwdriver. I'm going to pry this open. And next step would be pulling this little drain hose out of the clamp. And then I'm going to free this housing. 2 clamps on the sides. Using a flathead screwdriver, I'm going to open that tab and I'm going to pull the frame out, the housing. And the same thing on this side. And I'm going to remove this housing out. Alright, we're going to tilt the washer back, so I'm putting the support box here at the back. And then we're going to place it on the box. Be careful, it's heavy. I'm going to use a Phillips screwdriver and taking out the 3 screws that holds the front panel at the bottom. Let's place the washer on its feet. Careful, it's heavy. Support it. Next, we need to remove these 4 screws on the top of the front panel. I'm using a Phillips screwdriver. All right, now I'm going to lift this front panel up slightly and then remove it. Let's open the door, and I suggest you to put the gloves on for this particular operation. I'm grabbing that front panel from inside with one hand and holding this top brace and pull up, because we have these 2 tabs that needs to be disengaged. Don't go too far with this front panel. We've got the hose connected to it, so we need to pull it out from the 2 retainers. All right, I'm gonna pull this hose from this 1 and the 2 retainers. Now we can tilt it down and lift it up away from the hinges. Right now I'm going to insert this 2x4 under the washer, slowly lift it up, gonna move it in. I'm gonna support this washer so we can easily get inside. Next, I'm going to put this little container under the pump, and I'm going to pull out this plug, and we're going to drain water from the bottom of the washer. Make sure you close that properly all the way in. Next, I'm going to open that filter, the pump filter. I'm going to turn it counterclockwise. Make sure the container is under. And nothing comes out, so. And by the way, you can pull it out completely and clean it out. All right, so I'm going to take out the container. Next, I would suggest you put the towel underneath here, because we may have some water coming down. So this is the actual heater that we're going to replace, and we're going to open this tab. It would be much better access to this nut, and this is a 10mm nut, and I'm using a 10mm socket wrench. We're going to remove this nut completely. Alright, so I'm going to use a flathead screwdriver. I'm going to hold up this shield, and I'm going to use the needle nose pliers. I'm going to take off these wires from the terminals. The black on the right side and the red one on the left side. And the green ground wire is right in the middle. And now we can remove this shield. And next step would be using the flat blade screwdriver, prying this out. Slowly, do not break this outer tub. Remember, it's plastic. This is the old heating element next to the new one. If you don't have this part, you can get it from appliancepartspros.com. Before installation, we need to remove this nut completely. Don't throw it away. And then we're going to soap this rubber gasket for easier installation. All right, I'm going to insert the heater in, and the terminals facing down, and the ground terminals at the bottom. And we kind of aiming the whole thing down because there's a bracket inside and we need to squeeze it in. You will feel it. All right, push it in, and then I'm gonna use the a mallet, a rubber mallet, and this extension. I'm going to hammer it slightly because I cannot push it hard enough. And now I'm gonna place the shield in. Angle it down and put it on. Now we're gonna install the nut. Now gonna use this 10mm socket wrench, and we're going to tighten it. Now we can install the wires on the terminals. We got the red on the left. Now we're going to install the ground wire in the middle and the black wire on the right side. And we can close that lid. Now we can take the towel away. Now, when we already replaced this heater, we're going to lift up the washer and pull out this 2x4 so I can slowly let the washer down. And we'll continue reassembling. Alright, I'm gonna bring in and install the front panel. I'm going to place 3 cutouts at the bottom over the 3 hinges. Need to go under the pump filter and then push it down and bring it up. Then we need to install this hose into the clamps. There's 2 of them. And now we can bring it up. Make sure that the door switch assembly is not on the way. And then we push it in. Now we're going to secure this front panel to the cabinet with 4 screws. It's a Phillips screwdriver at work. You are watching. Right, we're going to tilt the washer back on the box. Be careful, it's heavy. Now I'm going to secure this front panel at the bottom with 3 screws. I'm using a Phillips screwdriver. Let's place the washer on its feet. Careful, it's heavy. Support it. And we can take out this box. And let's pull this hose out. And I'm going to put it into this opening here. And I'm going to slide in the housing. Push it in, and those clips on the side lock. Then we're going to install this hose into the clip on the top, and we can close the door. Alright, I'm going to bring the control panel assembly, and I'm going to place the bottom clips into these cutouts, and we're going to connect the 2 plugs. And then we can install this panel back on. Make sure it's good, not coming apart. Bring it forward, down. Alright, now we can install the dispenser housing. We have a slot here, and this plastic post goes in, and I'm gonna pull it forward, and this clip has to go over this metal brace. Also, we need to install the inside. Lift it up, and I'm going to push it in. All right. Now we're going to install this 2 hoses back onto the dispenser housing. Simply squeeze it in. And now we're going to secure the dispenser housing. I have 3 screws. I'm using a Phillips screwdriver. Now we can install this dispenser drawer. Slide in on the top, and then we're going to press this lock tab and slide it completely in. Open the door, and now we're going to install the door switch assembly. We're going to align this. This has to come out through this opening. And the button comes up here on the top. Next would be installing these screws. I'm going to use a Phillips screwdriver, and I'm going to tighten that screw on the top. I'm supporting that switch from inside, and we're going to install 2 more. All right, so we're going to put this seal over this front lip. Peel it and place it over the edge. You gotta be sure that it's going in correctly. Take your time. This is very important. All right, next we're going to put this retainer spring. If you remember, that actual spring was here at about 9 o'clock. I'm going to place this clamp into the groove on the top and on the side. And I'm going to slide this flathead screwdriver in here. That's about between 5 and 6 o'clock. Then I'm going to grab that spring here and pull down on it hard. And we're going to install that clamp into the groove. Make sure it's in properly. And then you can pull on the seal hard. All right. Pass the test, so we can close the door. Now we're going to install the top back on. I'm going to place it down a couple of inches away from the control panel. Make sure it's straight. And I'm going to slide it forward so the front will lock. Now we're going to secure the top panel to the cabinet with a couple of screws using a Phillips screwdriver. Turn on the water, plug the washer in and run it to check if it works properly and there's no leaks. Thank you for being a part of another successful repair brought to you by AppliancePartsPros.com. For any of your future appliance repair projects, please check out our other videos available on our site, on Facebook, on YouTube, and on Instagram.